Yesterday, guys, I spent a lot of time working. I was writing in Word, making a script for the next video, but after a lot of time working, I was feeling pretty tired. I thought, okay, I'll go check twitch.tv. As I go to the platform, what do I see? I see the Botez sisters are live in Norway. If you don't know the Botez sisters, they are two very good chess players from the United States. And in Norway, there's this pretty popular chess place in Oslo that is called the Good Night. They went there in the evening, which was pretty cool because I've been to this place myself. I just wanted to see, like, damn, they're playing from this location. What's it gonna be like? Well, I wasn't quite aware of what I'd be getting into. So these are the two sisters. This is Alexandra, and this is, oh, what's her name? Andrea. Is there anything that stands out about this to you guys? Do you notice anything here about the characters in frame? I didn't. I opened the stream, I noticed nothing. I typed in chat. I said, Lars, people hey, to this guy because he was called Lars. After a while, I see Nixolai at me in chat. Yo, Wirtual, I'm at work, I swear. I'm like, that's a weird message to receive. I thought, okay, yeah, he's just watching the stream. And then I look around in the room, and in the back, I see the most professional leash of all time. Nixolai shows up to the same chess bar and sits in the background in frame as they are playing chess. And it starts with just him in the back. You can see, I was messaging like, yo, are you for real? He's there. But it evolves. This is not the final destination of this adventure of his. You need to listen close for this, because it's a bit loud in the bar they're at. But just listen. See if you can hear this.
Alright, ready?
Oh, sorry.
All good. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's so awesome. This Trekmania streamer Wirtual. Who Megalo. She was gonna who Megalo, but she spared me and said, oh, that's awesome. They have no clue who I am. And I keep watching. It was just like, I felt like he was working his way up. It was really cool to see. A little while later, a seat opens. Nixolai now gets a seat in the middle of the stream. 10,000 people watching. And I'm just like, am I about to lose my editor here? He's making the moves, working his way up. He's more in frame than the sisters themselves. There are people in the chat here that starts noticing that this is Nixolai, I think. Chat eventually picked up on it so much so that this happens.
Nixolai? Are you Nixolai?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, he told me he's an editor for a Trackmania streamer.
Nixolai? And suddenly, Nixolai has now made his way to be somewhat of a stream celebrity. Like, oh, that's him? That's Nixolai? That's crazy. Wow. He's here, live at the venue, playing chess. But it does not end there. It gets crazier, because they were there for several hours. And they challenged random strangers. You could line up in a queue and challenge the Botez sisters to a chess game. And near the end of the night, our man, Nixolai, appears front view frame. He has teamed up with a man by the name of Benjamin here. They are now going to do a chess game, 2 versus 2 versus the Botez sisters. And this is where it gets really spicy.
Oh, you're gonna
What rating are you?
I have nothing but faith in you.
I'm like 1700 VHS. Alright, I think we might...
Instantly he asks for odds, but they decide to play a fair game. And in order for us to enjoy this moment in all its beauty, guys, I will real quick pull up the chess moves that they have. I prepared this so we could enjoy this analysis. The chess game is about to start. So they play e4, e5, and the knights come on the table. It's a 3 knights game right now. And they go for the 4 knights game. Nixolai with d3 into the middle. So this is a pretty standard opening. We've seen this a lot in the past. But here, Alexander Botez with the bishop goes on the offense. And we have the bishop in return and castles. Quite advanced strategy. Nixolai pushing the bishop away now. Challenging in the center. So now you either have to retreat or capture. They capture the piece. There's a trade that happens. The opponents push into the center. Nixolai with a move now decides to develop the bishop so that they can prepare to castle. Alexander pushes. And Benjamin decides to retreat the bishop back, tuck it in. Let's see what they play. Goes for h6, and Nikolai castles. Gets the king to safety. So far, all good. The knight back is a bit of a weird move, I must say, and Benjamin responds by pushing the pawn, challenging their center. a5 comes on the table, a huge push. Nikolai pushes, opens the pawn towards the king, so they get a little bit of breathing room. And now there's a huge tension building in the center with that pawn move. Benjamin considering the capture, he goes for it. And now there's a capture fest that will happen. Andreas on the other side is evaluating his move. Goes back for the capture. Considers it. Captures on the e-pawn. And now Alexandra captures again. So the center tension has been broken up. And the black pieces have a passed pawn. The bishop comes out, checks the king. King has to now either go into the corner or block with a piece, but they go into the corner. Now, we are reaching a pretty critical moment in the game. I want you to pay attention to the evaluation bar. Nikolai and Benjamin are up almost 2 points, which is nearly the same as winning a piece. They have a lot of initiative. So they're doing pretty well, and me as a chess expert, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, maybe they could manage to win. You know, this would be pretty huge. Nikolai's move, he plays the move b4, which diminishes the lead a little bit because now there's a threat of just capturing back that pawn, and they can't really recapture here because then the rook could be traded and stuff, and it's a bit... So this was a little bit of an off move, not what I would play. So it's black's move now to respond. They play the queen out. And this is again not that accurate according to the computer. Let's see how they respond. They push the pawn. They get out of that finicky situation. Challenges the knight on c6. And suddenly Nikolai and Benjamin have a really big push going. But before they do so, Andreas goes on the offense. What's he do? He takes on h3. And you can see that this was not the strongest move, because white does not have to recapture this pawn. They could simply take the knight first. But will they? Nikolai, with the move, recaptures the bishop. Not the strongest play, but now they're able to save the knight. The knight retreats, gets to safety. White still with the advantage. Decides to capture now, trade off that piece. And the queen recaptures. Look at the evaluation bar. White up almost 4.7 points here. And it's Nikolai's move. And I'm sitting here like so proud of my editor. On the offense, they're about to beat, you know, some pretty cool chess players. It's great advertisement for our channel. What could happen?
Oh yeah.
Nikolai plays the move pawn from f2 to f3. Let's just take a look at what that does to the evaluation bar. Tiny bit of a blunder there from Nikolai as he plays the move f2 to f3. It could have been better, and you might be wondering, why is this such a bad move? It's not well, the thing is, it allows the queen to come to g3, and Alexandra Botez sees this pretty much immediately. Says bang as she plays that move, and now you can see there are huge threats here. The king has only one square to move to, into the corner. Benjamin plays that, but now they can capture the pawn. And it's another check. So the king now is forced to move again. Back to that square. Alexandra checks him again. King back in the corner. And they are in a bit of a pickle situation here. Now, Andreas looks a bit puzzled about what to play. He's looking around. He can't really seem to find the optimal move. plays knight out, and you can see that suddenly they have a chance to recover. They want here is queen to e2, and Benjamin actually finds it. This is the computer's recommendation to save the game. So he plays the best move suggested by the computer. The knight now comes to h5, and white's potential lead increases. The next move that the computer wants to stabilize this attack is queen to h2. That would save any potential attacking chances that the opponents have. But it's queen to g2. It's continuable, but it's a little inaccurate here. So instead of trading queens, they keep the queen on the board, pulls a check here. White's still a piece up if they're able to stabilize. Knight comes in, attacks the rook, and there's a huge opportunity here with the move. Can anyone guess the move that you have to play here? Can anyone in chat, this is a pause the video, can you guess the move that keeps white in the game here? The move that keeps white in the game with a 7.3 point advantage is the move bishop to e1. Bishop to e1. Congratulations to all of those who found it. For you, those of you who want to enjoy the show, it's not king to g2 as you as the move Nikolai played, sadly, as that puts the king now in a whole lot of trouble. Andreas continues the game, playing the move knight captures the pawn, and this is another check, which does fork the king and the bishop there, and the king has to move e2. And that is a slight inaccuracy from Benjamin. It's not only Nikolai at this point. Benjamin with a slight inaccuracy. But it's okay. You know, he plays the move. And we get knight to c3 check. The bishop captures. Yeah, so black plays rook. King in check. King moves. The bishop gets captured. The king captures it back. Queen checks the king. And suddenly we are almost equal if we're able to save ourselves. King moves, rook comes in with a check. It's still equal, but now where do you go with the king after this check? Where do we go with the king? Do we go up or down? Because here, if you go up, bad things can happen. You will lock yourself in a corner. So going up with the king is going to put you in a whole lot of trouble. And now the queen comes in. Queen capturing the bishop would be very scary. Nikolai quickly checking chat for a couple of moves. Benjamin saves with the rook. The queen moves, still attacks the bishop. Queen moves, and now, sadly, there's a bit of a trick here, a trickster you can do, where rook captures with check. Will sacrifice the rook, but with that you win the queen. And now we are in all kinds of trouble as we are without a queen versus some great chess players. The moves come through, the attack, the pressure is building on our heroes. Queen moves up. The king is stuck, they're saying in Norwegian. They're taking the bishop. Rook moves with check, the king defends himself. And it says m2, meaning they are 2 moves away from checkmate. Nikolai tries to protect the rook. The rook moves, missed checkmate and won. But they do still win the game here. There is nothing more to be done here. As whatever you play, even if you sacrifice the rook, even if you play the rook, the queen to b5 will be checkmate, and that's game. But I think worthy of a round of applause, all things considered. Nikolai showing up at the chess bar they were at, playing in front of 10,000 plus people, and making some connections. I'm quite proud of my editor. As long as he doesn't leave me, I'll be happy with this. So.